Dear mi amor, Ariane, you are minha peça que estava faltando. My missing puzzle piece.
Dear Matt, as a little girl, I never pictured myself getting to have a real wedding. I thought it only happens in movies and super operas.
I never would have guessed I'd find the love of my life in the gin mill in New York City, but that's exactly what happened. Everything we do turns into an adventure, from concerts to dinner to random vacations we plan.
Today, we are start our family, our laces, and our future. I know it will not always be easy, but we can fight through it because that's the way life works. And with you on my side, everything can be possible.
You mean more than anything in the world to me, and whenever I think of you, it brings a smile to my face. I will see you in a few minutes to make you Mrs. Alcus, and then we can celebrate getting the wedding planning behind us and a future in front of us. Mi amo Voseva Ariane. Love, Matthew.
Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who are deeply in love. Despite all of our differences, love is what we all share. It's the great unifier, our one universal truth that no matter who we are, where we've come from, what we believe, we know this one thing. Love is what we're doing right. That's why we're all here today. We've all loved in our lifetimes, and in this moment, we're reminded that the ability to love is the very best part of our humanity. All of us here today have our own love stories. Some are short, others are long, some are yet unwritten, while others are just getting to the good part. There are chapters in all of our stories that are sad and disappointing, and then there are others that are exciting and full of adventure. Now, speaking of adventure, Matthew proposed to Ariane in February at the Belvedere Castle in Central Park.
The proposal was pretty exciting. You were there. We set it up so that our friends were hanging out, waiting for us so we could get good pictures. And I told her we were meeting James and Jackie in Central Park, which is kind of absurd because it was February. But they really had never been to Central Park, so I sold it. We walk into the park and we're walking down, and I start noticing that fences are up, because fences aren't up in the summer. And I was like, oh no, how am I gonna get on the grass where I'm gonna propose to her with the castle in the background? And so when we got up to the part where we were gonna do the shoot, I was like, all right, it's either this is dead or I gotta find a way to get her to jump over that fence. So I somehow talked Ariane into jumping over the fence so that I could propose to her right there.
Yes, really surprised, because I thought I was going to dinner with Jack and James, but end up we stopping in Central Park.
You love my life, and I want to spend the rest of my days with you. You're my missing puzzle piece. When I'm with you, everything else comes together.
Oh my gosh, I started crying, and I was so happy.
I guess like a excitement that almost feels like nervousness.
So, care to saw conmigo, mi amor?
Yes.
Hey, love.
Oh my gosh, you look so handsome.
You look beautiful.
Oh my gosh, let me see this.
That's
I'm
right,
nervous.
Yeah.
Do not cry. You're gonna cry.
All right, so it was a Friday, and me and Mike Coughlin got home from work, and I don't know, I just was feeling like going out. Looking across, she was one of the most beautiful girls I ever saw.
The first time I ever heard about Ariane, I got a phone call from Matt, and he's like, yo, I met this girl last night. she's a 10. I'm like, okay, Matt. I've seen your 10s before. But I will say, if everyone looks at Ariane today, I mean, you're definitely a 10 if I've ever seen one. She looks beautiful.
Matthew and Ariane, by the power vested in me by God above, I happily pronounce you husband and wife. Matthew, you may kiss your bride.
Our first date actually was funny. We went to Blockheads. Is that Mexican restaurant?
We ended up meeting up like 5 days later, go to Blockheads, and never looked back from there.
You know, I also will never forget the first date Matt and Ari went on because we were living together at the time, and when he came home to our apartment, the first words out of his mouth were, "I'm going to marry this girl." And to be honest, there wasn't the slightest bit of doubt in my mind. Within 2 weeks, Matt was cooking Brazilian delicacies and drinking exotic fruit juices like they were going out of stock.
As John Lennon said, all you need is love. To the new Mrs. and Mr. Alka, many years to come.
Today, I think Matt and I first danced. We have been practicing a lot.
Showing off my dance moves, aside from the baby lamb chops.
Nos te amamos, Ari, a benvindo a familia, which means we love you, Ari. Welcome to the family. Get your bem casado. We love you. Congratulations.